Yes.
So,
And
welcome to session 2, everyone. Last we left off, we found ourselves in the small town of Ilragorn at a harvest festival. People were in different parts of the town and the festival enjoying the amenities and the sights, the musicians, the laughter and the fun. When a group of griffins suddenly attacked a small pen of beasts of burden. You guys seemingly came together and were able to stop the griffins and unintentionally kill one of them. When a smaller group of Aarakocra came and settled the griffins and told you about their experiences through interdimensional travel with the coming of the the converging of the harvest festival landing in the center of the summer and the lunar eclipse or the lunar full moon. As you guys found yourselves, staving off this attack from a random group of griffins as they left, and the town of Ilragorn seemed to have rallied around you and hailed you as heroes of saving the festival. And that's where we pick up. Adara just invited you guys all to dinner tonight with her family. So as the sun begins to set in the distance, sorry, go ahead.
I would just wanted to, in case it wasn't written down, like Adara, I used the fluids to give you the rose stone thing.
Yeah.
Okay, you do have that. Just.
All right.
I pull out my gun.
My
gun, what is that?
I just have a desk pop.
Yeah.
As you guys, as you guys find yourselves, the crowd around you starting to thin, and people returning back to the festival, you find yourselves as the sun begins to set in the distance. Sounds of laughter and joy fading slowly in the background. This tumultuous group of adventurers heading across the town towards the southwestern part of the city. Leaving the festival grounds and entering the city proper, passing through some of the streets. A few of the townsfolk around you heading in the same direction as you, other townsfolk heading towards the festival to catch the last few minutes of the festival, the last hour or two to partake in some of the evening festivities, catch some of the new acts that are coming on the stages and performing. Others heading back into town, having satiated their enjoyment for the day, or heading home to grab a few more coin to purchase last-minute things that are available within the festival's borders. With Adara leading the way, you guys find yourselves approaching a large overgrown meadow about 100 yards, or about 50 yards away from the edge of the town. Large willow trees, large oak trees, huge in size and stature, cast shade with the orange light setting behind the treetops. Others seem to be ahead of you, walking into the center of the meadow as you guys approach. Vibrant greens and reds, bright pinks, deep purples and blues, all colors of the rainbow of flowers blossom along the outer edge that you can see stretches almost 200 to 300 yards on each side, to the left and to the right, curving out of your distance, or curving out of your sight, and seeming to continue around the corners. As you guys make your way slowly there, as you get closer to the edge of the meadow, you can see about 50 yards from the outer
Real
edge.
quick, while we're walking, I'm playing this. Okay.
Excellent. Thank you. So as you guys make your way towards the edge of the meadow, you can see about 50 yards from the outer edge, almost centered to the approach, the end of a long pathway. You see a small home nestled in the underbrush. As you get closer, you see large windows adorned with lights, small little glowing mushrooms and beetles, bugs of all kinds, crawling around the edge of the path, almost lighting your way towards the front of the home in the setting sunlight. As you guys make your way closer, you see a few people that were heading the same way, approaching, and you see standing outside the home, just to the left, a hunched over furbolg tending to what looks like a wild and overgrown garden. As he sees people approaching, you see him look up and smile and wave and give a nod to some of the people and strike up a bit of conversation as they enter the home and make their way inside. Just to the right of the path, you see a small brook babbling quietly, some frogs and bugs and insects chirping and a low buzz flying around the brook as it travels down towards the almost parallel to the path, but seeming to curve behind the home in front of you. Just to the right, just beyond the brook, you see what looks like a very small patch of moss with some very small stones circling around it, and what looks like a very small bird plopped there, chirping very slightly, and as Adara approaches, heading the pack that way, you see the bird start to get very excited and runs over, jumps across the brook, and runs over to you. And you see the small bird, this strange squat bird with wings to its side, small beak, white feathers in the front, but black feathers behind it, waddling towards you guys. And as it reaches Adara, it starts to chirp loudly and nestles into her leg and starts to walk next to her. As you get closer, you see the furbolg that was tending to the garden. He sees Adara and this bird approaching, and you hear him shout out, "Adara, my sister, you're home. Welcome."
Theron, I've brought some guests with us for dinner.
Oh, excellent. Hello, everyone. I'm Theron. I'm Adara's brother, if you couldn't tell. It's nice to meet you all. What are your names, all of you guys?
I'm Ian. Nice to
meet you. And he reaches out a big, large furbolg hand and shakes yours. You can see he's fairly tall, but a little shorter than Adara, just maybe about 6 or 7 inches shorter, but still fairly large. The hand almost entirely encompassing yours. Nice to meet you, Ian. You're a strange fellow. I've never seen anyone like you before.
Well, same goes for you until this morning, I guess.
And the rest of you all? Who are all of you? As he looks around to the rest of you guys.
Oi, I'm Kuk, mate.
Oh, hello. I didn't see you there behind my sister.
Yeah, she's a bit tall, ain't she? Sorry about that. I'll try to be bigger next time.
It's nice to meet you. And he reaches out his large hand again and shakes yours. And you seem interesting as he looks up towards the Loxodon standing just behind Kuk.
I make a very loud trumpet sound, and I say, "I am Cham Pa, the legendary bard." Maybe you've heard of me.
Make an intimidation check.
Okay. I gotta get rid of this bird thing.
Real quick, are you the creator of the Mambo number 5 I've heard about?
Yeah. Intimidation.
Yeah. For shits and giggles.
I don't know how to type. That is a 22.
22. All right. You see him slightly taken aback by the loud the loud noise and the grandiose gestures. Clearly hasn't been around a lot of musicians of your caliber, but saying the name, you see his eyes light up just a little bit with recognition, and he says, "Oh, you're the guy that was playing the music earlier in the festival."
The one and only.
I was sitting in the crowd for quite a little bit of time listening to you. It was a very, very good performance. I was there for about 30 minutes before I had to go back to the stall and help my parents.
And then, as he says, it was a very good performance, I take off my hat and hand it forward. And kind of shake it.
Is this for me? And he takes the hat and he puts it on.
And I quickly snatch it back and put it back on.
Okay.
That was for coin!
Oh, and you see him like digging around in his pockets, a little slightly turning red in the face, not really sure what to make of this whole situation. And he pulls out 2 copper pieces. He said, "Here, I have this. This is all I have on me right now." And he looks very proud.
Oh, no worries. I'll just enjoy the free dinner with your family. Now, point me in the direction.
Yes. The dinner's for everyone. Yeah, come on in, everyone. It's just through the house and out the back doors. And as you make your way in, you see other people following in right behind you. A few of them whispering behind you, "Oh, these..." And Theron, actually hearing one of them, says, wait, what about saving the town? What happened?"
There were some large birds. I put them to sleep. It was no worries.
Some birds.
Solomon, you're muted.
They were griffins.
Gryffindor?
Theron, my name, you may call me Siwo. It is my pleasure to meet you, and I thank you for inviting us into your lovely home.
Oh, well, it's been great having you. What about these griffins? What happened? I was already back at the house when this must have gone down, so I wasn't seeing what was going on. I just was preparing for the dinner and all the guests to come through.
Theron, some Aarakocra lost their griffin, and unfortunately one of them died, but we were able to keep the town safe.
They had set upon the camels.
You see the mention of death of one of the creatures. He immediately stops and see a bit of a sadness take him, and he looks back to his sister and says, "But the rest of them got out okay? They weren't hurt too badly, or they were able to go home?"
There were some injuries, but the Aarakocra seemed confident they'd be able to get them to their next destination.
Okay, that's really good to hear. I'm sad that one of them had to die, but I'm glad the rest of them were able to get home.
Well, one of them didn't have to die, but...
I don't understand those clicks made. I'm sorry. I thought it was saying it was going to attack.
Oh. Yeah, the animals can be hard to understand sometimes. You just gotta know how to talk to them. Plants are really difficult, but if you really practice, you can talk to plants too. That's why my garden grows so well, is I spend most of my days talking to them and letting them grow and giving them what they need to grow. But come on, let's go outside to the back and we can talk more while we eat and have some food. And he leads you out through past the kitchen on the left and past a small study on the right, through past a large table that's inside the house, out a set of doors, and you can see now a very, very large backyard. Almost a 40-foot table set up in an L shape with food. You see other townsfolk talking and laughing. You see some people eating, some making conversation, some just playing in the grass. Far left, you can see the continuation, to the far right, you can see the continuation of that same brook that you passed along your way in, curving around the back of the home and continuing back out farther into the meadow. To the left, you can see a small area that's been set up almost like a training pit. That's got some furniture and stuff pushed to the side as kind of a temporary storage space. As you make your way inside, You can see all manner of food, and the smell here it's phenomenal. Everybody make a perception check for me. Jesse with advantage for you.
With advantage.
Yeah, this is going to be a smell-based perception check.
Okay. 23.
Smell based.
15.
15,
14.
14.
For perception.
Do I add something?
7.
So you would go to
7. Okay.
You ain't got no nose. Are you Voldemort?
Scroll down and find perception.
Apparently.
So you can ask what that was.
Kuk, what did you roll?
14.
14?
Mhm.
Where do you want Ian? 21 for Adara?
6, baby. Wait. 6.
Do you even have a nose?
I haven't. Well, I guess you're right.
He's got a nose CPU.
I haven't.
.exe.
The only good roll I've had this campaign so far was the one attack I did in the last.
I have an olfactory analysis component.
This is session 2, so I haven't had a lot of rolls yet. But as you guys make your way in, and you start to smell all of these wonderful smells of food, of cooked vegetables, of fresh fruit, and you don't smell any meat. There is, or any cooked meats rather. You smell, Cham. You smell, very clearly. They have one of your favorite delicacies. It is dragonberries.
Dragonberry.
Dragonberries stewed in, and they have it off to one side, and you immediately hit that smell. Immediately hits your trunk. Everybody else, you smell foods that smell interesting and unique and spicy and savory and sweet. And as you make your way over to the tables, you're able to find a meal best suited to you. Ian, for you, you're not really sure. You can sense something, but being around this many smells is still strange to you. Something's just really not clicking for you, but it smells all like food. It smells edible.
I'll make a small plate and just carry it around with me.
And as you do, you guys can wander and mingle with the crowd's folk, and as you walk through the crowd and grab your food and your plates, you hear a few of the people continuing to whisper as you walk through, and you hear a few people just saying, "Oh, those are the guys that saved the town," and you hear again the name Band of Brother, or the Band of Noble Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and I want to
You wrote it down.
Brother
of the Noble Heart.
Brothers of the Noble
Brothers
Heart.
of Noble Heart. Thank you.
Also, I want to specify that my plate of food is because I don't eat. It's just a random mishmash of things that don't really go together.
I'm carrying. Are we walking as a group, or are we all just kind of walking around?
It's up to you. It's whatever you guys want to do.
Well, I'm bobbing around. I pull out a large jug, and I take the cork out, and then I start pouring wine into my mouth out of my giant jug. But I'm holding the jug with my trunk.
Okay.
Hands free. I'm strumming a lute.
And
there are a few people that kind of give you a very strange look as you do this. One of them pokes you in the shoulder, like, "Oi, what's that you drinking?"
It's just some wine. Would you like some?
Wine. What kind is it? Red wine.
Red.
White wine.
Today.
Red.
Yes.
Wine. And you see him. Look at the glass that he's holding, and it's currently filled with what smells like a pretty sweet juice, and you see him just immediately chug it really quickly and pour it, and holds out the large glass to you and says, "If you don't mind, I'd really love a glass."
Yeah. Sure thing. I pour it up.
Cheers.
And then the party must continue. And I kind of wander away and keep strumming my lute.
You see a couple of children slowly following behind you, dancing and prancing behind you with the the slight music that you're playing.
I'm gonna grab Siwo and pull him off to the side, and sort of shielding, like my back is to the main crowd, sort of like shielding it with my body. I want to pull out the revolver and say, "You know what this is."
Okay. You find yourselves to over by the training pit area, with your large back facing the crowd, and Siwo, you see him holding out a small metallic object. It looks like very shiny, almost matches the same kind of shine that Ian has to his own body itself. There's a small chamber to it, what looks like a round, kind of rotating thing, and a long tube on the end of it, and you can see it fits very nicely into his hand, almost like it's part of his hand, but it is still a separate piece.
Yeah, I have heard tales from librarians and travelers of explosive projectile weapons, but I've never seen one before today.
And just to clarify, so like any weapons that he would have seen are not like as advanced as this, right? Most likely.
Correct. Yeah, I just know that like firearms are a thing, but I haven't seen one before.
Okay.
Yeah, and based on his past experience with them, he wouldn't have seen one before. He would have just read about them.
Okay,
Heard
so
about them through.
I'll ask him. Have you seen of heard or one like this?
Certainly not.
And as you make an investigation check for me, Siwo.
Oh, solid. It's my favorite thing to do. That's a 15.
15. Okay. As you're looking at this device that he's holding in his hand and showing to you, some of the lights around you, from floating globules of light, or insects flying around you, emitting a small soft light. You look at it and it looks like what you've read about, but there's something about it that seems a little different, and you're not really sure what. And it could just be that the descriptions that you've read were incomplete or not 100% accurate, but there's something about it that seems to slightly doesn't line up perfectly with what you've read, but you're not sure if that's just because the accounts that you've read and the tales that you've heard are not 100% accurate, or if this weapon that you see in front of you is different from all of the others.
Well, Ian, the most striking thing about this piece of equipment is that it seems like it was almost designed to fit you.
It does. It is odd that. What do I want to say? It is odd that it seems to fit my hand perfectly. It feels like a part of me almost. And before anyone can see it, I put it away in the pocket.
Okay.
Now,
make
tell me.
Stealth check for me, Ian.
What check?
Stealth check. My stealth was high, so it's fine. But I'll roll a 2. Hell yeah. 9, baby.
9? Okay.
Actually, oh wait, no, it's sorry, that's a 12. I'm an idiot.
Okay. So, what you see, Siwo, is you see him take the weapon and he puts it. This is the right hip or the left hip weapon?
I'm not trying to hide it, putting it away from him. I'm trying to just hide it so that I'm trying to just put it away so no one else in the crowd sees it.
Got it. Okay, understood. Yeah, so you're able to, and Siwo, you do see this as he does it kind of right in front of you. You see him put it into one of the folds of his cloak on the inside.
Okay. Now, I'm curious as to why you were so reluctant to even acknowledge that you had such a thing.
I've never seen another one before, much less one like this. and they carry terrible, terrible power. And so I am wary to show them to anyone for fear that the wrong person would get their hands on them.
I respect that attitude. Thank you
And-
for sharing it with me.
No problem. And as I turn around to walk away, but I hesitate and turn back around, and I pull out a torn piece of cloth, and I show it to him and ask, have you seen... I was like, does this make any sense to you? And I show him... I'll text it to you, Solomon.
Okay. Yeah, that works, actually.
Yeah.
Crocky, mate, these vegetables are tasty.
And Kuk, as you say that, you see one of the taller townsfolk turns around and acknowledges you and says, "You should go for some of the dried meats over there in the corner. The vegetables are good, but nothing beats a good dried meat. Am I right?"
I'd say so.
You see him bite a piece of what looks like a large strip of beef jerky almost. And he rips off a tear, and he gives you kind of a nod and a wink, and he walks away.
Oh, thank you much for the sustenance, sir.
Hey, don't look at me. Look at the tall one, the tall hairy guys. They're the ones that you got. The Meadowhomes. That's the word I'm looking for. Go tell them their thanks. They're the ones that set up this whole dinner for us townsfolk over here. You know, they're definitely part of the family for this town, but definitely don't get much better eating than this. You see him continue to walk away, heading over to the other end of the table where there's some small desserts laid out.
All right, I'm gonna make my way.
Anything else you guys want to talk about, or
I'm walking around. I make it to the dragonberries.
the dragonberries? Okay.
Yeah.
You see, there's a large pot of dragonberries, and there's you see one of the furbolgs standing there and pouring some of the dragonberry stew into a large cup, and as he pours it in, you can see some of the steam rising off of it.
I take a huge trunk sniff.
And, and as you do that, you see the furbolg turn and look at you, kind of taken aback, and he's like, "My, you're a tall one, aren't you?"
Are those dragonberries?
Yes, yeah, they are dragonberries. We got them in from some friends from the town. They were able to get it from some travelers that had come in from a far off city.
It's been so long. I must have some.
Now, they're good berries.
He takes one of the cups nearby and he fills it up with the dragonberry stew, and he hands it over to you. And he hands it over to you, and he's not sure if he should hand it to the trunk, or you see him kind of hesitate for a moment.
I just grab it with my hand.
Okay, perfect.
And then I immediately just down the whole thing.
This is my little hungry one.
You said it was a furball, right?
Yes, yeah.
So you look like one of those furballs, like that girl that helped out in the city. Is this your home?
Oh, yes. You must be speaking of my daughter, Adara.
Yes, with the bird.
Sorry, let me explain. Yeah, Primrose. Oh, Primrose is so
Primrose. What a beautiful
yes,
name.
let me introduce myself. I'm Hemo.
Hemo.
So I'm Adara's father, and you see him look over and point to one of the women, one of the other furbolgs that's standing over by the dried meat. Just next to it, there is a large bowl of what looks like some freshly cut fruits. That's Sariel, my wife, and I don't see Theron at the moment. And
Oh, I met him out in the bush. He was quite nice.
oh,
He offered me some coin.
he must be playing with his garden again, of course. That silly Theron. Yes. Welcome to my home. I'm glad you could join us.
Put on such a beautiful spread. I would, if you don't mind, I'd love to play a little tune for the gathering.
We'd absolutely love that. Thank you so much.
You have stage.
Let me and he calls over to Sariel. Sariel, can you come here for a moment? And Sariel comes over rather quickly and introduces herself to you. Says, "Hello, I'm Sariel.
Hi, nice to meet you. You're this
Can we
is wonderful.
can we clear out some area for this man to perform? I think he's a musician." And Sariel just kind of looks at you, and she sees some of the instruments and whatnot that you have strapped to your pack, and she says, "Oh, a musician, wonderful. This will definitely bring some joy to this party." Yes, give me just one moment, and you see her go, and her and Hemo walk over to the left side away from the food, and they start moving some things around and make kind of a small area. And you see them pulling some of the light globules down, almost to give it kind of an up, a lighting effect up towards where you would be standing. And after about 2 or 3 minutes, you see Hemo wave over to you, and he says, come this way, sir. It's a bit makeshift and not a proper stage by any means, but I hope this will do just in a pinch. And please, if you'd like to, say some words to the guests here and introduce yourself, or if you want to just get into it, please, whatever you need to do this, let me know, and we'll try and help you out as much as we can. And you see Sariel kind of walk off back over to the food area, just checking on some of the food bowls and making sure they're full. And Hemo's just kind of standing there looking at you.
Perfect. This will do just fine. Besides, the focus will be on the music anyway.
Okay.
And then I'll just start lightly, not just play some light jazzy tunes through my trunk trumpet.
Okay, perfect.
Not trying to disrupt the people, just trying to provide some background music.
Okay, excellent. And you see a few of the townsfolk closest to you turn and look, and you see them.
But I'm really getting into it, I'm kind of dancing along.
You see them looking at you, and they're just smiling, and the smiles on their faces grow even more. And the children that were following you earlier start dancing kind of in front of you and off to the sides, and everyone start playing some music. Siwo, you said it was an 18 for the history check? Okay. The best you can make out, it looks like a torn banner. And you can see part of the crest, and you see the runes wrapping around the crest. It looks like one of the images on the crest kind of looks like a hammer, but like a blacksmith's hammer. But that's about all you can make out. You've never seen anything like this. The coloration on it is a bit odd and a bit.
And I can't read the runes.
No, the runes make no sense to you at all.
Okay. Fascinating.
Okay.
So I'll just I guess we'll talk about it for a little bit and then pocket it, and I'll walk away.
Okay.
Say thanks. I'll say thanks and walk away.
Sorry. Mila! Just bring her over.
Nox and Kuk, what are you guys doing in this time?
I am brooding in a corner using my dagger to fashion a shiv.
Okay.
Just how I pass the time.
You're using your knife to make a knife?
How else would you make a knife?
Like that. How else?
Knife. Dexterity check for me.
Me? Okay.
Yeah, make a dexterity check.
Wait, what are you making it out of?
Piece of stick.
Stick.
She's making a knife out of a knife using a knife.
How else would you make a knife? 13.
13? Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty small stick, and it's serviceable as a shank, or a shiv, but definitely not a great knife by any means, but you could poke somebody with it pretty well.
I'm chowing down. I gotta hit my 10,000 calories.
All right, and there's plenty of food to be had, and you can hear as you go back for your fourth plate of food, you can hear in the background, you can hear the soft jazzy notes coming from Cham's trumpet, horn, nose. You're not really sure what it is at this point, but you can hear all of that going on and in the background as you guys are all chowing down and talking and laughing.
Can I? I'm going to walk up to Kuk.
Okay.
This barrel of a dragon. What color is he again? What color are you?
He's a green dragonborn.
Green dragon.
I am a green dragon.
Kuk, it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance and fight with you. I've only met 2 dragonborn before, so I'm always happy to see another.
Oh, only 2, mate. There's plenty more than that.
Where are you from?
Abeezer, what was it called again?
Hold on, I'm opening your character.
I can't remember what it was changed to. Where the fuck is it? Description notes.
Dinkle's Hollow.
From Dinkle's Hollow. I still haven't changed. I haven't updated my sheet.
The western coast of Cheskeldor.
Another
mate.
traveler, like myself.
Yeah, I came to the main continent to find a dragon. I saw one. At least I think I did. And I followed it here.
What kind of dragon?
I don't know. That's what I'm here to find out.
I'm fascinated. And so, is this why you travel? Is to find a dragon?
More or less.
I'm impressed by someone who would come so far for a goal so singular.
It's made me who I am.
Oh, I know most dragonborn are carnivorously inclined, as am I. So I wish there was some meat here, although everything is delicious.
I did hear there was some meat over in the corner over there. And I nudged my head towards wherever that corner was that the guy said there was meat, because I actually haven't been over there myself.
Yeah,
Well,
and as you take a look over there, you see some dried bits of meat. You also do see some fish that have been freshly prepared, and that looks like that Sariel is just bringing out now with the help of some of the other townsfolk. It looks like somebody had brought in some freshly prepared fish, and they're just setting it up on the table right over there by the other dried meats.
Huge fan of fish, so I'm going to make a beeline for the table.
Sorry, I'll have an air fryer.
I was gonna go find Ian, if that's okay. Ask. I know you mentioned earlier you don't eat food. Is there anything I could get you?
Nope, this is enough. I just appreciate being here.
Well, we're glad to have your company. Enjoy. There's a lot of nice people here.
Thank you. I'm having a very good time.
And you see as she's saying all this, you see Primrose, just the small little bird creature, just right near her knee, just kind of rubbing against her. And
oh yeah, I'll ask about that. Who's this little guy?
This little girl is Primrose.
Little girl. My bad. I misgendered you.
What happens to her often? She's a. Why'd I say that, Abeezer? Because I don't know if that's normal. What she is.
Jackson asked what she is.
It's your choice.
Okay, I don't know if this. She's a little shapeshifter. And I've had her present as a little waddling bird that I saw in a book once. I think they're really cute.
Primrose is very cute. I like her a lot.
And you see Primrose like puts her head back and chirps and flaps her wings a little bit excitedly. Nuzzles again on Adara's leg.
Scratch Primrose under the chin and just sort of chuckle.
You see, make an animal handling check.
Oh no! Oh no! Is that charisma?
Jax is gonna accidentally squeeze the bird's head and blow it up.
My favorite part.
Goodbye, Primrose. You will be missed.
No, it's wisdom. That's fine. Okay. 11.
11. Okay.
That's a right hook.
Yeah, you see Primrose is a little hesitant as you reach your hand down, but as you slowly reach your hand down, she kind of pulls her head away just a little bit, and then as you reach your 2 fingers out to kind of scratch, she notices the hand movement and like sticks her head out, and you just scratch, and you see her like kind of shake, and the feathers kind of floof up on the outside, and she like does a little body shiver and settles down a little bit.
You're a natural with her.
This is a good thing.
The best thing in the world.
Nox, as you finish your first shiv and put it down and grab another stick, you see a small little kid just kind of come up to you and sit down right next to you. Says, "What are you doing?"
That's a rude question to ask. What are you doing?
I asked you first. What are you doing?
Fair enough. I'm making a shiv. Now you.
What's a shiv?
It's a knife. Do you want a knife?
You see him a little scared, looking around, and he grabs a nearby twig. And he's like, "I have a knife."
That'll do in a pinch, but I can teach you how to make a nice one.
He looks a little confused. Make a persuasion check. I'll give you advantage, so roll twice and pick the higher number.
Okay. $16.
Okay. He like looks around, and you see him kind of look at two people, and look very similar to him, and you see them like kind of far off in the crowd, and he looks at them, and he looks back at you, and he looks over in their direction, and says, under his breath, very quietly, "Yeah."
All right. Here, take this twig.
Okay. So now he's holding two twigs.
Okay. Now,
Here, take this other twig.
no.
He's looking at you very excitedly.
Guide to making a knife. Step 1: 2 twigs.
I should have researched this first. All right. Now take the 2 twigs and rub them together so that one of them becomes smooth and you get all the rough parts off.
That's guide to making fire, Jackie.
You see him.
No, that's
kind of
really
look at
fast.
You see him look at you, and he puts his hands together like this, and he goes like this.
All right, slow down there, bud.
Okay.
How old are you?
6.5.
I think that's old enough. Here, take my actual knife, and what you want to do is be really careful of the blade, hold the handle, and just make sweeping motions on the twig. Really slow.
And you see him cut the whole top of the twig off.
All right, well, you suck at this. And I take my knife back.
Kick him.
Okay. And then he looks at the twig, and he looks back at you, and he says, "Knife," and then he pokes you with it.
All right, I give him the shiv that I made earlier. Take this one instead. Be careful.
What's your AC? What's your armor class?
Oh, God. Where do I put it? 16.
16. Yeah. Okay. So he pokes you in the arm. It's like it's very slightly sharp, but like it's like if somebody poked you with a toothpick. So like you feel it, and like the end that he cut off did cut off at kind of a sharpish angle, but not enough to harm you in any kind of significant way. And he's like, "Knife."
Hey, not on friends, not on family, only an emergency. Keep it in your pocket.
Got it. And you see him excitedly put it in his pocket.
Needle.
Roll a perception check.
Roll a what? Perception check?
Roll a perception check.
What? 4?
4? Okay. You hear a slight sound, and he very slowly gets up and walks away and walks over to where his parents are, and you can see the twig just kind of sticking out of the pocket. Yeah. Continue with your whittling on your other shiv.
Mm-hmm. I like to mutter under my breath. Dumb kid.
And he's very happily walking away, limping just ever so slightly. May have poked himself in the leg with that, but that's okay.
Lauren.
As you guys continue your meal and continue your performance, Cham, you note the time's getting a little bit late, and it's actually getting kind of close to your performance time at the Weirwood Hollow, which is the town that was hosting your performance tonight after the festival. the sun has fully set at this point. Do you want to continue here, or would you like to go over to the inn in the town? It's not a far walk from here at this point, but you do have the performance that you promised to the townsfolk and to the owner of the establishment. Granted, he hasn't paid you yet. Cham?
Sorry. Sorry. What'd you say?
So it's already gotten dark at this point, and from your best estimate, it's getting pretty close to the time that you were saying that you were going to put on the encore performance at the Weirwood Hollow.
Yes. And so I'll like slowly stop playing music and bring it to a nice a nice end, and then I will bow. Thank you everyone for listening. I must get to my encore performance back in town. Feel free to come by. It'll be a little bit more lively than this.
And as you turn and bow, and after you finish speaking, you see a few of the people in the crowd just kind of clap very lightly, and you see Himo at that moment actually noticing that you're about to leave. He actually comes up to you and shakes your hand. He says, "Thank you." And as you step out from that area he prepared, he actually steps into it and looks out to the crowd and he says, "Thank you all so much for coming. We're actually going to start wrapping up for the night as well. So it's been an interesting harvest festival. I've heard some of the tales of the goings on today, and Adara and your new friends, thank you again for saving what was left of the festival in the day." And you see everybody kind of turn and cheer a little bit louder for you guys, and you get a few nods of approval from people. You see a few people pat you on the back and see somebody's like trying to give you a high five, but they're not sure if that's okay.
Give him a high five him. The claws are retracted.
Okay.
Probably be a pretty solid high five, big paw.
Yeah. The hand is significantly smaller than yours is, but nevertheless a solid high five, although very quiet. Cham, you said you were going to... Okay.
And so I'm gonna...
How long does that take to do?
Doesn't say. Let's see.
Doesn't say? Okay. See if it's in your...
It just goes.
Okay. Oh, it's one action, so yeah, you can go ahead and do that.
Yeah. And so I'm gonna walk over to Himo before I leave and say thank you for putting all of this on. It was a wonderful event, and I'm gonna shake his hand and hand him a small brass flower.
Okay.
Moments like this are fleeting, and then I'm gonna leave.
And he takes the flower and he looks and he says thank you, and you see in this moment he's wearing a small pendant around his neck with a sun and a 4-pointed star. Roll a actually you would know this from your travels. It is a sign of Pelor, one of the common gods of this world, just kind of dangling around his neck right here, and see his eyes looking at the brass flower, and with quite a bit of happiness as he twirls it in his very large hands and in his fingers very delicately, and you see him like put it in one of his coat pockets on the outside so that it's visible for everyone.
Wonderful.
And Himo looks out to the crowd and says, "Thank you again, everyone, for coming. You're welcome to stay if you want to hang out for a little bit longer, but we will start to pack up the food pretty quickly here, so you're welcome to stay. We'll be making some tea a little bit later. But it sounds like Cham is also going to be putting on a performance. Cham, do you know where in the town your performance is going to be at?
Is there somewhere specific it should be?
Yeah, it's at the Weirwood Hollow.
Yes, I will be at the Weirwood.
Weirwood. Yeah.
The Weirwood Hollow, back in Ilragorn.
Yes.
Back in Ilragorn. Please come by. Although I promise it's going to be a rowdy event, so you better be thirsty.
And he chuckles very lightly and
I
looks
take
back at
another
everyone.
big pull from my jug.
You heard them at the Weirwood Inn or the Weirwood Hollow. If you guys want to go check him out a little bit more, and it sounds like it's going to be a raucous affair. And he gives the one of the dorkiest displays of dad energy that you guys have seen in a hot minute, but gives a good old attaboy and pats you on the back and shakes your hand and says again, thank you for performing and thank you for helping today. And continues over to where Sariel is and starts helping with cleaning up some of the food and kind of starting to pack some things up in small boxes for people to take with them as they're making their way out and chatting with the townsfolk that are there. So Cham, you make your way out and you see a few of the people that were there are following you as well. The rest of you guys, what are you guys doing in this moment?
I'm gonna flag Theron over and have him come help me help our parents like pack stuff up.
I'm gonna go to the performance.
Okay.
I'm slipping some last of the dragonberries in my pocket, and I'm also following the crowd out.
Okay. The dragonberry is a stew, so you can
stew in your pockets.
Stew in
Oh,
your
I thought
pocket.
they were actual berries.
No,
like,
it's a dragonberry stew.
Stew
So
pocket.
you can, if you
all
want,
right,
you can,
fuck it, I got stew in my pocket.
as you start to put it into a cup and like quietly put the cup in your pocket. Make a stealth check for me.
Fuck, I didn't mean to do that.
You said you were gonna do it quietly, so
Yeah, I'll learn. All right. 15.
15. Okay. 1.
I don't know if this is better or worse than Napoleon Dynamite and his tater tots.
Definitely better.
Cool.
You see, at that moment, Sariel looks at you as you are starting to put this cup into your pocket, and Sariel says, "Darling, what are you doing?"
Thank you
Giving
for
this
the stew.
motherly look. Are you continuing to put it in your pocket?
Thank you for the stew. Everything was delicious.
And she says, "Give me the cup, darling, please." And she reaches her hand out for the cup.
I'll get it to her.
Okay, and she takes a cup, and you see from behind the table, she pulls out a larger bowl, pours the cup in, adds some more of the dragonberry stew, and puts a lid on it and wraps it in a cloth and ties the cloth off and hands it to you and says, "Here, this should last you a little bit longer than that small cup would."
I shamefully take
Big,
the Tupperware.
big smile on her face, not a drop of shame or judgment.
I shamefully take the Tupperware and duck away.
And she says, "If you want some more, there's plenty more food and other things," as you walk away. Siwo, you're heading over to the performance?
Yep.
Okay. Knox, after you grab your pack, are you also going to be heading to the performance, or are you going to hang out here? Okay.
No, I'm heading
Anyone
out.
else? Chad, you're already heading your way.
Yeah, I just went off by myself. People might be following me, but I'm just kind of off on my own.
Okay. Make a survival check for me, please.
No.
Ian, what are you doing at this moment?
Kuk, what are you doing?
I'm about to go follow these Yankees to the the performance.
I rolled a natural 20.
Natural 20. All right. So you know exactly where you're going. You're heading right there with a purpose. And by the time you get there, the owner is just now getting a few tables moved into place, and the stage is just finishing getting set up. And he said, "Oh, you're a few minutes early. That's perfect. The stage is all yours. Go ahead and set up what you need, and the bar is open if you'd like to have a drink before you perform. Your drinks are on the house tonight." But,
Wonderful.
you know.
I appreciate that. And I assume our deal is still on for accommodations for a bed.
Yes, yeah, we have your room set up and ready for you and reserved. and he pulls out a small bag of coin from his pocket. And he says, he looks to you, you see him counting, and he hands you a bag of 5 gold pieces. And he says, again, this is this is the other part of the arrangement as well. The 5 gold just up front. Your drinks are on the house, and the room as well is covered, and here's your payment for the performance. As people start to filter in, the people behind you following you towards the Weirwood Hollow.
Perfect. I will get set up and make this a good show.
Okay.
I'll ask Adara, are you going to be joining us, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna come right as soon as I'm done helping my parents.
Okay. I will. I'm a nice guy. I'll help out. I'll clean up. I'll help her clean up.
Thank you. That's really kind.
All right. And Kuk, you said you were heading over to the performance?
Yup.
Okay. Easy enough. I mean, a very tall Loxodon's not hard to follow, although he is moving with a bit of a purpose. You do see the crowd following him, and it seems like they're all heading their way. Nox and Sewell, you guys also find your way following the crowd, and Kuk making their way towards the performance. As you guys are all making your way in, you can see the crowd outside, and you see a few people being held outside of the inn as Cham is setting up and getting prepared for the performance. After about 5 minutes, everybody's let into the hall as Cham finishes his preparations, and the music starts playing, and drinks are starting to get poured to everybody that walks in. Adara, easy enough, you're able to find Theron in the most obvious of places. He is by his garden, tending to his plants and talking to them all. You see him taking some of the food scraps that were from the party and putting them into a large bin, which you know is your compost bin that all of the food scraps and everything go into. And you see him kind of trying to break down some of the larger pieces into smaller pieces and giving everything a good mix. And you see him start to spread some of the compost over some of the weaker and more meager looking plants.
Theron, come help see our guests out and pass out some food before they go.
Oh, yeah, definitely, Adara. Give me, no, I'll come do that now. And you see him, there's a small pile of food scraps next to the bin, and he's using a pretty sharp dagger, and you see him just put the dagger into a sheath and put it down next to the compost bin, between the bin and the large pile of food scraps that he had pulled off to the side. And he comes back to the backyard with you and starts helping pack everything up. And within about 10-15 minutes, you're able to pack up the rest of the food and hand it out to those that are still there and anybody else that's still hanging around. Your mother's gone inside and is making 3 very large kettles of tea for those that are hanging out in the backyard, and a few people just sitting and laughing and telling stories.
I'm going to excuse myself, everybody, and go see more about Cham Pa's show. And Ian, if you want to come with me, thank you for all your help.
Sure, I'll come along.
Unless you'd prefer some tea.
No, I'll just come along.
You see Theron looking at you unexpectedly. He says, "Was Cham the big elephant looking guy? That was Cham?"
That was him, the musician.
Oh, and he turns to Himo and Saria and says, "Mom, Dad, can I go with Adara and Ian and go see Cham perform?" And Himo and Saria both smile and look at their children and look at you, Adara, and they say, "Adara, make sure he comes home safe tonight. But you guys go have fun." And you guys make your way out towards the inn. And Adara, you living here, you know where this place is. You've been there a few times before and passed it through the markets and everything. You make your way over. It's about a 10-minute walk from your house to where the inn is. And as you guys make your way in, you can hear the music playing from outside. Cham, what kind of music are you playing right now?
Excellent.
I was hoping for sea shanty too.
Llewellyn Manco.
2 8-bit.
And
Fair.
you see, as you're playing the music, you can see, as you guys enter the inn, you can see people laughing and dancing, and there are multiple people, arms linked together, prancing around each other in a circle. It's a joyous sight to behold. It seems that everybody is playing. You can see the edge of the stage where Cham is performing. His hat is sitting there open with a few coins glinting in the light in the hat. You can see there are a few people at the bars tapping their foot and making conversation as they're ordering drinks. There are a few tables that have people in them. There are a few chairs just open. You guys are able to find seats pretty easily. As people notice you walk in, and you see a couple of them get up and kind of usher you over to that seat that they just made available for you. You guys are able to enjoy a pretty nice performance. Cham, make a performance check for me, actually.
How can I roll on the website?
If you go to your character sheet,
Yeah, you press the number. The
you click
modifier.
on the number of the.
Oh, okay. Does it add my thing to it?
Yes. If you click on the thing, it'll
10.
add okay. And I'd say with advantage on this one because.
All right. I don't know why, but it's really laggy on my computer. I'm just gonna keep rolling on this.
Okay.
23.
23. Okay.
That's a good advantage roll.
All right. Yeah. This is one of your better performances that you've had in quite a long time.
Energy, right?
Yeah, the energy's perfect. You see a lot of people dancing, and that's making you perform better. And you're really in the groove right now. You're really feeling it, and you're swaying back and forth. And you've actually attracted a few of the other local musicians to come up and join you on the stage. And one of them is playing a set of drums behind you, and everything is going perfectly for you in this moment. This performance is one of your best.
Beautiful.
That you've done in a minute. And everybody else in the crowd is laughing and enjoying themselves and drinking and just having a grandiose time.
I want to. Music's gonna stop. I'm gonna say, everybody, we're going to take a quick intermission. My tankard is empty, and I need to get a refill. And I'm gonna hop off the stage and wander up to the bar. I'll fill it up, and then I'll. Yeah.
You see, as you hop off the stage, a few other people jump back onto the stage right behind you, and they pick up some of the instruments that you've left off to the side, and they're starting to play the instruments that you have there. And some of them have instruments with them. You see a few. One gentleman gets up with a guitar and starts playing and singing to the crowd, and just trying to continue the vibe. And they're not as good as you were for sure, but they're definitely continuing to keep the beat alive, keep the music alive, and keep the crowd going. You make your way over to the bar, and you see Jared there. The same man that introduced or brought you into the bar, the owner of the establishment. He's helping Matilda with the regular barkeep, as there's so many people at the bar coming through. Jared sees you and says, Cham, what can we help you with?
Jared, my good man, I need a top up, and I'll hand him not my fancy jug, but just a regular tankard.
Okay. What are we drinking tonight, sir?
Your heaviest, please.
Okay.
Y'all got Rolling Rock?
And you see Jared noticing you, Kuk now says, looks over to Matilda and says, Matilda, is there any more Rolling Rock left? And Matilda looks over to Jared and says, aye, yes. There's another keg in the back. I'll go grab it.
You should no. Some gnome came through and drank it all.
I was about to say, I finally found the rock juice.
And Jared looks over to you, Kuk, and he says, she'll be right back with it. So it's going to be whiskey then for you. The fire whiskey?
Absolutely.
All right. And he fills the tankard completely up to the top.
Elephant man.
And hands it back to you very carefully not to spill any of it.
I nurse it a little bit so it doesn't spill, and then make a triumphant trumpet noise. This is delicious.
Thank you. It's a house special for us.
Wonderful. And I'm like, all right. And I'll be like, I'm off back to the stage. But then I look around the and I see Adara and Ian over in the corner at their table, and I'll go say hello.
And as you guys are sitting, you see Cham notice you guys and walk over to your direction.
Cham's performance is going so well.
Better than I could have hoped.
Yeah, it's very, very good. And I'll pull out a copper and I'll flip it in his direction.
This might be the most fun I've ever had at Weirwood Hollow.
Oh, have you come here a lot?
It's not too far from my home.
True. This is actually my first time in Ilvergorn. It's been most of my time traveling, but I haven't made it here before.
Well, given today's events, I'm sure you won't forget this trip.
Cham,
Believe it or not the craziest thing that's ever happened to me.
Yeah, make
That
a
is
history
hard to
check for me.
History check. Does it involve smell?
No, it doesn't involve smell.
Doesn't involve.
What does my nose know from the past?
Cham Pa's got like a mind palace, but it just smells.
Yeah, I got 19.
19. You actually have been here before, but when you passed through, this was about 100 years ago. When you passed through, it was just a very small village at the time. Meadow
Okay.
was still there, and that's what really clued you off to passing through here. But the town was nowhere near the size it is today. It was just a small village at the time.
Okay, I'll keep that to myself.
And Matilda at this point comes back carrying a very large keg of drink for you, and she sets it down. And Kuk, as you see, she's fairly tall, about 5'10", about a foot taller than you, but she is built. She is jacked with muscles, and you didn't see it before, but as she's putting the keg down, it looks almost completely effortless to her. She sets the keg down and slaps in a tap at the very top of the keg, and she turns to you and just says, "Oh, so just one tankard then?"
Yes, this is perfect.
Oh, this is to Kuk. Sorry, not Cham.
No, I'm just excited about it.
Yeah,
you did tonight.
Yeah, I think that'll do. I think that'll do me for now. Could I get your name though?
Yeah, it's Matilda. Nice to meet you. And she sticks out a hand, and the hand you can see is calloused and a bit rough, but as you grab it, you can feel the strength behind it.
Kuk, a pleasure.
Nice to meet you, Kuk. She pours the tankard for you and hands it over to you. She says that'll be for the tankard, be 1 silver piece tonight.
That will do.
All right.
Silver removed. Here we go.
She takes the silver from me and she says, "If you need anything else, be at the bar all night." And she goes off, throws a rag over one shoulder, and goes and takes the next person's order. As you take your tankard of rock juice.
Rocks.
As you finish your...
We're all sitting together?
Yes.
Okay, we're all sitting together.
No, I
Wait, is Nat with us? Is she there?
Who?
For me?
Yeah, are you at the table, or are you like brooding in the corner?
No, I'm sitting at the table.
Stabbing a table with a shiv. Why did
Why
you die?
She's like stabbing the knife between her fingers.
No, at this point, I am sitting at the table with you guys.
Well, I hope you guys stick around for the rest of the performance. I'm about to get back up there and show these novices what's up. Nice.
And as you finish your drink, Cham, you make your way back up to the stage, and you see a few of the people that have gone up to the stage get off. And as you get up, you hear everybody in the crowd start clapping again, and you begin again with your performance, still just as good as before.
This one's for my boy Jared down at the bar.
And you see Jared, big smile on his face, waves up to the crowd.
No, there's not words.
What was that contraption?
It's I don't know.
He's got a gun.
I just found it. It's going now.
The performance continues for the next few hours or so. Crowd kind of thins out a bit. By the end of the night, once Jared and Matilda finish shutting down the bar and telling everyone, "All right, guys, we're closing the bar for the night. Thank you all so much for coming through. This will be the last call at this point." Cham, you finish up your performance here, and you find inside of your hat, you've got 47 gold, 208 silver, and 648 copper pieces.
That is the Boolin Bard.
Jeez Louise.
This is a really good performance.
Yeah, wait until we combine party gold.
My gold?
It was a damn good performance.
What generous people of Ilragorn.
Yeah, and you can't help but think that some of it might be people that are also recognizing you from your good deeds in the town as well. Regardless, a very nice payday for you, and you guys find yourselves, end of the night, the bar is closing. What are you guys doing tonight?
I'll walk up to the table with everyone again and say, "I'm glad you guys stuck around for the whole show. What did you think?"
It was very good. A rousing performance indeed.
Might I be able to attribute any of those coins I found in my hat to you?
You contribute the piece of griffin in your hat to me.
Ah.
Yeah, and
I threw that away.
Yeah, you can feel the wet spot on part of your hat.
I'm very aware that my hat is dripping.
Wait, did he ask us if we want gold?
No, I was saying if I can attribute it to you, as in you put it in my hat.
Oh, I put that one copper in there.
Gracious.
I'll hand him my stew.
Is that stew back from the Meadowhome's home?
Yeah, you seem to really like it.
It's my favorite. I grew up eating this back in Rotherham.
Is this one just as good as the one that you had back then?
Sadly, I think due to the distance it traveled, it doesn't stack up, but it is still delicious.
Well, I'm glad I can contribute. This was the finest music I've heard in a while.
I really appreciate that. And then I just kind of stare off into the distance, and like my eyes sparkle. I cast minor illusion to make my eyes sparkle.
Yeah, and as he stares off into the distance, you can see it almost looks like stars are glinting in his eyes.
Perfect.
I cast gun. I'm kidding.
Never show this to anybody. Cast gun.
So what's everybody's plan for tomorrow?
I figure I will begin my journey on the road. I never stay in one place for too long.
Where are you headed?
West, east, north, south, whichever way I feel.
Very decisive.
I just go where the road takes me. I have no path. It's just one long journey.
Interesting.
It truly does sound like a long one. For how many years have you been on this road?
Probably long past your lifespan. I've been traveling for 150 years, maybe give or take 50.
Good.
And how long have you been traveling, my cat friend?
About a decade.
I'm sure you've seen some stuff.
Indeed. I make seeing stuff my business, especially if that stuff is interesting or particularly complex from a magical or engineering standpoint.
Does that pay well?
It does, because I'm also a cartographer. I found that my good memory for locations has served me well throughout my travels, so I thought, why not monetize it? It's a great way to make a living traveling around as I also deal artifacts of interesting properties.
Do you
have any-
have any neat
Nope,
maps
I'm
with you?
Say again?
Do you have any interesting maps with you?
That was my question.
I've got maps of all over the place, basically everywhere from that I've traveled from here to as I bring up the map. I come from the continent of Rawiti, the deep mountainous jungles, and I have recorded all of my travels. Aha, yes. So yes, if you look west of here, I have many maps.
Wonderful. So is your plan to go east and continue the areas?
My plan is to seek out new civilizations, new cultures, new races, and to facilitate that, I have come to this continent to seek the largest metropolis, so that I could see the most people in the same place and learn from them.
Definitely not this small town.
No, but I'm on my way to the largest one, which is probably...
It's a tie
What?
between Belmont, Castellus, and Elraden.
Okay,
Eladaran.
then I'm going to say I'm going to Belmont. Because it's big.
I assume my character's been there before. Right.
Yeah, your character's definitely been to Belmont before. And
city.
Well then, better yet, wait. So you have been to both Belmont and Eladarin, is that correct, over your many years?
I've been just about everywhere on this continent.
If I were to be choosing, because this town actually represents a critical juncture in my travels. I have come from Costilus, and I have to decide which other metropolis to visit. And so, how should I decide?
So,
Is there
Cham, from your travels, what you'd remember of the two empires is that Eladrin has much more of a religious population. There are a few large temples and centers of worship, and a few important religious monuments in that empire. Belmont, from last you remember, is very technology based. They're focused on building and science and innovation, and strangely enough, you remember seeing some similar beings to what Ian looks like, although that was probably about 70 years ago when you were in Belmont. So you haven't seen them since, but you have seen a few Warforged or similar creatures like Ian in the Empire of Belmont.
I will relay that information.
Well, it sounds like Belmont will be my destination. I appreciate the information.
Absolutely. Anything I can do for a fellow traveler.
I appreciate it.
And then at this point, you see Jared come up to you guys. He says, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but we are shutting down for the night. Are you guys looking for rooms, or do you have other accommodations prepared? I know, Cham, your room is waiting for you. So did Matilda give you the key for the room?
Yes.
She did. Okay, perfect. All right. Just wanted to make sure you had it. And the rest of you guys, do you all need accommodation as well? We have rooms available if you need it.
Certainly.
Thank you. I would appreciate that.
Yup.
I'm going home.
Okay. All right. Well, Adara, if you ever change your mind, you are welcome to stay here. For the rest of you, it will be, let's say, 3 silver for the night.
Okay.
Is there a bench outside?
Yes, but And you see Jared's a little trepidatious at that question. Kind of looks at you and just says, "There are other inns at a cheaper
Supposed to rain
cost if that's something that you want. I mean, 3 silvers is pretty cheap at this point. I've got the rooms available, and you seem to be friends with Cham. I'm giving you the friends and family discount. So,
I just don't sleep.
oh, okay. But
You're just gonna sit on the bench until the morning.
you're welcome to sit inside if you want.
I appreciate that. What do I owe you?
Let's say a silver.
I'll flick him a silver. I only flick one.
You see him like juggle it slightly, but then manages to catch it in his hand. He's like, okay, very odd. Looks at the rest of you guys.
Is
Rooms for each of you.
this table, or do you want me somewhere else?
Yeah. Wherever's most comfortable for you.
I'll stay right here.
I'm gonna meander. Is it upstairs? Are the rooms upstairs?
Yes, your room
I'm gonna
is upstairs.
my grand suite.
And Cham, you were on the 2nd floor.
Yes, I only assumed.
Yes, of course. We saved the one of the better rooms for you, obviously.
Well, I appreciate your hospitality and generosity, Jared. I will see you in the morning. I assume,
Yeah, there will be breakfast in the morning for you for the performance tonight, and for all the business that you've brought to us as well. Your breakfast will be compensated, and
I say 5-star service all around.
thank you. We aim to please, and we're glad that you were able to put on quite the rousing show tonight. It was truly spectacular. One of the best performances we've ever hosted in this in the Weirwood Hollow. For the rest
Absolutely.
of you, he looks to all of you guys and says, there will be breakfast in the morning as well. You guys all need your own rooms, is that correct? Or do you all want to share a room? I don't know how well you know each other.
I would like my own, please.
Okay.
I'll take a room. Tosses 3 silver.
Got it. And you see him like catch one of them, the other two like kind of fall on the ground, and you see him like turn around and pick them up. And he looks over at Kuk.
Do Dragonborns have to sleep, Cuck?
I mean, I don't mind sleeping on somebody's rug. I don't need a bed, but, you know, if they don't want me in the room, then I guess I have to get my own.
Great. See you tomorrow morning.
Likewise, Shibby.
Like heavy.
So you said it was 3 silver for the room?
Yeah, it's 3 silver for the room.
All right, I'll deduct it.
Oh, yeah.
And he just kind of looks at Kuk like,
Cheaters.
are you getting a room? And Kuk at this point, you realize that he's looking at you pretty intently. It's like, I don't want a dragonborn sleeping on my carpet.
Oi, mate, check your left pocket. The money's in there.
What did this? Okay. And you see him put it in the right pocket with the rest of his coin.
Incredible.
He says, all right, well, let me go get your room keys for you guys. And he hands you each a room key. You guys are all on the 1st floor. The rooms are nice. The bed is there. Ian, you are welcome to sit at the table if you'd like.
Yep.
And Adara, you can go ahead and make your way home. And Theron is there with you at the table as well, just kind of sitting there, still like tapping his toe and like swaying to the music that was playing, but no longer.
Before Adara leaves, Adara, are you going to join us for breakfast tomorrow?
Don't see why not. I'd love to do so.
Awesome. We should all hang out again before we all part ways.
We'll see you here in the morning.
Okay. So as you guys make your way to your rooms, you guys try to start to bed down for the night. Adara, you and Theron, slowly walk. Theron is kind of skipping around you and chatting your ear off to no end, talking about his plans and the festival and all of the music that was playing and everything else that's going on in his life. You can tell that he just genuinely is happy to see you around. And you realize at this moment there is a small little chirping sound coming from your pocket. And And Primrose, you look in there, and Primrose is a very small little swallow chirping at you. And as you make your way out of the town towards the meadow, she jumps out, lands on the ground, and changes her form back to her normal penguin self. Seems like she snuck into your pocket while you weren't looking.
I didn't know she hitched a ride. That makes me so happy.
But yeah, as you guys bed down for the night, Adara,
Oh,
you find yourself in your room, Primrose cuddling with you on the bed. Typical night's sleep for you.
oh wait, I gotta get a visual.
Oh God, you don't.
See, he
Need
has
to-
to get a bagel.
You begin to dream, and as you do, they feel foreign and unnatural and almost otherworldly. These dreams, however strange they feel, they're not unnerving. They actually almost feel comfortable and familiar. The feeling is familiar, although what you're seeing is strange and odd. You find yourself walking through a marketplace, people smiling to you as you pass them by, faces of strangers, people you've never seen before. And as you look around, you realize you're in a town that you've never seen before. In this weirdly shaped market in what seems like a very small village. And continue walking through the market. As you do, a large shadow passes over you. Before you have a moment to look up and see what may have been, you hear a roar, blood-curdling roar from behind you. You hear the people around you start to scream and panic, and you turn around, and all you see is a thick, heavy green fog encompass you and everyone around you. And you start to run, and as you do, breathing hard and running, you feel the noxious gas start to enter your system. People around you start falling to their knees. The choking sound of others around you, feel it burning into your lungs. You fall to your knees, collapsing. Make a perception check for me.
Okay. Is that the 21?
Yes, that's fine. Got it? Yeah, I got you.
Oh.
Oh. +2.
9.
9? Okay. As you are choking and clutching at your chest and your neck, and you're falling to your knees, you see peering through the gas a large green head, massive in size. And you fall face first. As your face hits the ground, there's no impact. You feel yourself being pulled almost through the air. You can see around that area there's some snowy peaks, coastline, and you're pulled farther and farther up. And as you enter the cloud space around you, you feel this warmth and a cold wind blowing along behind you. You can feel it on the back of your neck. As you are slowly find yourself rousing from your sleep, you can vaguely, so very vaguely feel and see, but not see, the imprint of the sign of Melora. You find yourself rousing from sleep. Wake up, and it's morning. Kuk, as you fall deeper and deeper into sleep,
Mama.
you find yourself envisioning home, being around your family and friends that you grew up in Dinkle's Hollow. seeing the faces that you knew, the people that you grew up with, the town that you know, the berries that you can find on the outskirts. You feel yourself being pulled north and northwestern direction. Pulled far and hard and fast. You find yourself flying through the air. And you see below you as you look down. Make a perception check for me.
That is a 15.
15. Okay. As you're flying through the air, you can see villages and towns passing below you quickly in like a blinding speed. You see large plains, huge forests, mountain ranges passing by as towns and villages fly through your vision, and you start to slow down. And as you slow down, you see a forest, but different from the others, starting to darken and grow cold. And you continue moving, but at a much slower pace. You see more of a darkened forest. And just beyond the edge of the end of the darkened forest, what looks like a sea of almost gray grass and leading to the edge of a ruined village. As you peer a little closer, you see no animals in sight. Nothing in the forests, nothing in the grayish sea of grass in front of you, other than large flocks of vultures. And you see, as you pulled closer to this edge, to this dead grassy area, you see swarms of rats. Large swarms, hundreds of rats swarming together over bodies of different shapes and sizes, picking them clean and bones. And you're not sure what it is. You feel very unnerved by the whole situation. No
I'm
idea
scared.
what is causing this dream, and as you start to wake up, the last thing you see is the image of the moon in your vision. And with that, you find yourself waking in the morning. The rest of you, a pretty normal night's sleep. Cham, you find your accommodations extremely nice, very accustomed and suited actually for someone of your size. It seems like they've put together 2 beds and multiple frames for you, and reinforced those frames with some extra wood and pieces to keep it from buckling in the middle.
I don't like that much.
The bed is super comfortable and very nicely laid out. Knox, your room is similar to everybody else's, where you find comfortable beds, a warm towel, a nice blanket and everything. And for the first time in a while, you feel a little bit safe, almost at ease with such a full belly and such warm and comforting environment. You find yourself in a very weird way almost letting your guard down, just on the cusp of starting to let your guard down. But as that feeling starts to come in, you kind of shrug it off and find yourself back to your normal sleeping with one eye. Even though you are in a locked room and you've got the chair propped up against the door so nobody can enter, and the windows are closed and shuttered, you still that feeling, that immediate feeling of ease put you on edge. Siwo, you before you find yourself sleeping, you grab the stone from your pocket, and you actually find a message is left to you. And you press the stone in your hand, and you can feel the magic kind of pulsing in your hand, and you hear in your mind, "Hello, I'm checking in. How goes the travels? what have you seen? Have you learned anything? And you know the voice, familiar with the voice. This is your master, your trainer, the person that taught you almost everything you knew before you started on this expedition. Would you like to respond to that message, or?
Wait, did you not get my message?
Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, so you send the message, and you know that at some point he will hear it. Although at this late of an hour, you're not sure if it'll be heard until the next morning. But nevertheless, you put the stone away in in one of your pouches, and prepare yourself for a night's rest. Ian, down at the bar, you see Jared and Matilda finish cleaning up for the night. Matilda looks tired, but well earned, and Jared, as he starts to count the take, and he sees you kind of looking in kind of their general direction, he kind of turns his back and continues counting the take and hands Matilda a small pouch that you just catch out of the corner of your eye as you are in your sentry mode of rest. You hear them both talking in whispers, not able to catch what's actually being said, but they keep looking back at you. A little unnerved, it seems like that they have never really met another Warforged before in their lives. So just a little on edge from seeing you just kind of sitting there, sentry mode, and just staring out. But, you're able to catch a long rest as well. It doesn't seem, you see Matilda leave the inn, or leave the hollow, and Jared goes around and sees you, kind of slowly reaches around to close by to where you are, and snuffs out a few lights, and he leaves a light lit on your table, small candles just there and lit on the table for you. And you see him leave and go up the stairs to his own accommodations, which seem to be on the second floor as well. You guys find yourselves a long rest, and the morning comes to you. You all can go and set a long rest on D&D Beyond.
Yeah, is there a button for that? Oh, yeah, I see it.
Yeah, there should be a button.
Take long rest. Confirm. Hell yeah.
I bet it's probably in here.
I finally bounced back from like 6 health, y'all.
Where is it?
Oh, yeah, you were feeling like shit all day, weren't you?
All day.
Where is the long rest?
It's at top,
Oh,
like,
the
it's
top?
across the top.
If you're on your phone, I think if you click on your health, it should give you the option. I can grab my phone and do it.
You're on mute.
I'm on mute. Who's on mute?
No,
Also,
song.
you can click your portrait and you'll get the options.
Portrait. Long rest. Take long rest. Confirm. Cool. That's neat. Yeah, you want to.
So morning comes to you all. Adara, you slightly stir in your room. You can feel Primrose waking up next to you. As you wake up and the slight bit of sunlight that's entering your room hits you in the face, you can see your mom sitting in a corner. And she says over here, finally awake. Get dressed and prepared. I think it's time you and I talk. Once you're ready, I'll be waiting for you in the study.
I'll be right back. I gotta
She
do
leaves
something.
I'll miss you.
She leaves you to prepare for whatever it is you do. As you gather your things, make a perception check for me.
13.
13. Okay. As you get all of your gear together, your usual gear, all of your things, you can't find your shield anywhere. It's just gone, nowhere to be found. It doesn't seem like anybody's been in your room, and you don't remember anybody coming this way while they were at the house. make your way out to the table. You think maybe your brother might have taken it again as a practical joke. You make your way out of your room over to the study, surrounded by the books and tomes and scrolls that your family has collected over the generations. You see your mother sitting there at one end of the table with your shield in front of her table. And she beckons you over and says, "Come sit. We need to have a conversation."
What's all this about?
As you know, at some point, we all have to take our journey up to Ra. I think you are ready to start your journey. Had, I don't want to say a vision, but a feeling from Melora, and she thinks you're ready. And I woke up early this morning because of it, and came into your room, and I noticed your shield, and as she shows it to you, you notice now that it was face down. She flips the shield over, and she shows it to you for the first time again. What once was just a plain wooden shield with rivets and a metallic border around the edge, you can see now the whole face has been carved. The wood has been carved. You can see on the left side of the shield a tree growing, a large tree. In the center, where before was just plain wood, is the symbol of Melora. And just above the symbol, you see the little head of Primrose. And to the left of the symbol, you see a large avian wing. Below it, you see runes carved into the wood. You're not, as you look at it, you don't know what this means. And your mother looks to you and says, has anybody come near your shield? Has anybody been near your equipment that they could have done this for you? Has this something that you have gotten done for yourself?
I haven't done this unless it's one of Theron's tricks. I can't imagine what happened.
This is beyond even a thing. And I want to say he would have hidden your shield, but not this. I think Melora is saying you're ready. And can't. I've looked at these runes for the last 45 minutes, and I just can't make any sense of them. And I remember something similar happening for me. It wasn't as intricate as this. You're clearly, Melora's call to you seems more powerful, you seem more connected than I was to her. But I remember getting a raven feather, and on the raven feather, and you've seen it, and she points over to the study. You can see the raven feather is framed and put up on the wall. And you can see the slight runes carved into the main quill of the raven feather. And as you look at it, you can see the shimmer of color that it flashes. Very slowly and very gently, but as it slowly and gently changes color, and you can see the runes on it slightly glowing with the changing of the color. This, and she holds the shield up for you. This seems much more important than just the Taras. She hands the shield over to you. As you get it, you can feel that same warmth that you felt last night in your hands. You can feel the connection and that bond almost on your shield as you hold it.
What if I want more time to train with you and Theron?
Theron will need more time to train. Your father and I are doing our best, but he seems more interested in the plants than training. as you know. He will be ready when he is on his own time, and Pelor will guide him on when to take his Turas. But I felt the same way when Melora started me on mine. And yeah, I wasn't ready for it, but this is what we do. This is part of who we are and the job that we've been tasked by Melora and Pelor.
How do I even know where to start?
It seems that you found your start already. And she kind of leans in a little closer to you and says, you know, we've seen our fair share of disturbance and you know, strife and troubles, but the Griffin attack yesterday and those people that helped you, it seems that you may have a bigger role to play. And I think that this is Melora saying, have a bigger role to play.
Okay, side question, Bees. How long do I have before I'm supposed to meet them for breakfast?
It's still morning time. People are people, they'll wake up at different times, and you figure if you leave in the next hour to 2 hours, you can probably join them for breakfast still, although they might be a little bit later. They might have already finished their eating breakfast, but
Okay.
figure within an hour to 2 hours of leaving, you can probably get there and meet them up for breakfast.
Okay, so if I'm talking to my mom, I'll tell her, if Melora is calling me for my Tura, I meant to meet the group this morning for breakfast, but I want time with you and Dad and Theron before I go.
I felt the same way when I left. I felt that I wasn't ready and that I wanted more time with everyone. And that I wasn't fully prepared as much as I'd wanted to be when I quest. But the interesting part of it is you never really are prepared. You know, your father was much older than I was when he started his, and even he has expressed the same emotions. We met along our journey, you know this. He was what helped me finish my Taras, and I helped him finish his. This is not something that will ever call to you when you feel like you are ready. You're never ready for something like this. This is meant to be your growth point, your discovery, your journey, your adventure. Whether you choose to take it now or later will not change how you feel. But it seems that, especially with the promise of meeting them for breakfast tomorrow, Melora has given you her blessing and has taken an interest in you and beginning your journey. Has she reached out to you at all in the past? Or is this the first that you're seeing of her?
I'll tell her about the dream that I had the night before.
And you see her, as you're telling her the story of your dream, you see the face questioning and thinking and trying to process everything. Comes back to you and says, seems clear what she has planned for you and what your journey might entail, as dangerous as it is. Seems like this might be something that you need to follow through on and pursue. Could be something dangerous, but we've trained you well, and Melora is watching and guiding you.
If I have to take a dangerous journey, who will take care of Primrose?
Good question.
Gotta go.
Primrose goes with us.
And you see at this moment, Primrose, you hadn't noticed before. Primrose is very sneaky. Is sitting right next to you, very just quietly listening and absorbing everything. And as you look around, you notice her there, and your mother beckons out, and Primrose immediately jumps into your mother's arm and is sitting on her lap. And she looks at you and says, "Primrose will always have a home with us. And should you ever need to see her, she can. I'm sure Melora can find her way to you, as Melora found her way. Melora has given us her." And you see Primrose fluff up her feathers again, kind of nestle into your mother's lap and arms as she goes back to sleep.
Michelle's gonna
Your
cry.
mother's
I'm
lap.
gonna cry. Okay.
The rest of you find yourself a good night's sleep, very restful and relaxed. Ian, sitting in the bar, you come out of your sentry's rest and you realize that there is nobody sitting around you. There are a few people sitting at the bottom in the bottom floor of the tavern of the Weirwood Hollow, but there's nobody sitting near you. They're all a little bit freaked out by you just kind of sitting there unmoving and unblinking. And as you kind of come to consciousness, you can hear some of the others starting to stir and come make their way downstairs. Kuk, you find yourself in a bit of a flop sweat, which is odd because you don't think you've ever sweat before. But you find yourself breathing hard, waking up, and
Buddy lizard.
just a little bit of panic. But as you look around and notice that you're in your room, you calm down pretty quickly. What are you guys doing at this moment?
I'm just waiting for my friends.
I'm checking my drawers, make sure I didn't shit myself. I don't know what the sweat thing is. It's scaring me.
You did not shit yourself. You realize that you knocked over a glass of water that was next to
You
you.
need to do a constitution check for that, though.
And some of it got on you, and you woke up just a bit wet.
It happens.
It happens.
The rest of you guys, what are you doing? Are you guys all making your way down to breakfast?
Yeah, I'm
For sure.
I count up my money.
Okay.
Do you have any locks?
I pack up my stuff and head downstairs.
Okay. There is quite the assortment of breakfast items for you to partake in. There's bacon, eggs, bread and toast. You find jams and jellies. You do see a few juices from local fruits, but unfortunately, there's no.
Hi, Jared.
So there's an echo.
It's Solomon.
I don't know what's going on with that. Hi, is Jared down there?
Yeah, Jared's at the bar right now, and he's
Jared,
with
the
Matilda.
spread looks wonderful.
Thank you, Cham. It's pulling out our best stops for you.
Do you happen to have any little pastries?
small pastries?
I came across this chef in my travels. He used to make the most delightful macaroons.
Let me see if Matilda's finished with them. Give me one moment. And you see him rush to the back and some quiet conversations with Matilda. And he comes back and he's like, "Yeah, it'll just be another minute before they come
Wonderful.
out."
That was great.
Side note: Lil Pastries is my rap name.
Man, I miss a goose.
A goose.
Carry on. I'll join Cham at the food.
Yeah, I start making myself a hefty plate.
And I'll say good morning. Good morning, Cham. How did you sleep?
Morning. I slept wonderfully. They set me up with the greatest accommodations.
That
Quite the wide bed for my big ears.
That is very nice to hear. I'm glad you were well taken care of. And
How was your bed?
It was nice. It was
Rigid?
quiet. It was quiet, rigid, yes.
How come you don't have to sleep in a bed?
Um,
Or why don't you want to sleep in a bed?
well,
Treat yourself, man. Life of luxury, if you can afford it.
Well, because I've never had to sleep, and primarily before that function served itself well.
Some sort of magic?
It's a feature.
Got it.
It
You're
is-
weird one, Ian.
It has served me well in a past life.
I've seen others like you before, but I've never really gotten to know them.
Oh, you have? You have?
Yes.
Have any? Might I ask?
Many years ago.
Have they looked like me?
Beezer.
They were similar, but this was also many years ago. This was about 70 plus years ago, so they could have.
I would say they were a bit more rugged looking than you.
Yeah.
Fair. And I'll just start making a plate, and it's fucking weird. There's jam on eggs. There's like things. I don't know what food is.
It's like me going to a refrigerator and pulling out a smorgasbord.
It's like Aaron making a hot dog. Like you don't know what's going on.
It's true.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get in line behind him. Start again. If there's like fish, I'm here for it. You know,
Okay.
things.
There's no fish, unfortunately, and as you ask Jared says, "Oh, sorry. On Sundays we do fish in the mornings, but that's a it's a
Like
specialty
what do we got here? We got sausages. We got potatoes. We got.
there's sausages, potatoes, bacon.
Okay, yeah.
There's a
I'm
hash
hungry
with
in real life.
pork sausage and
That
many other
sounds
things. Please.
Yeah, I'm here for all that. Yeah.
Okay, help yourself, please.
Thanks.
Knox, where are you at right now?
That's a great question. So I don't know. I am also gonna grab some food. Are there hard-boiled eggs?
There are hard-boiled eggs available.
Specific.
I know, but they fit really well in pockets. So I'm gonna grab some hard-boiled eggs and stick them in my pocket.
Does she have a coat of 100 pockets?
I have got like a bunch of pockets. And like
Is it a bunch of purple pockets with zippers?
Almost like she's got 100 tiny pockets.
tiny pockets. I'll eat one hard-boiled egg now and put the other one in my pocket.
Okay, all right, no problem. You're able to get a hard-boiled egg get a couple on your plate and put a couple in your pocket and save one for breakfast today. Anything else you want to grab while you're there?
No.
All right.
Where's that Fulberg? I always forget what this is.
Furbolg?
Furbolg. Where's that Furbolg message you eat us for breakfast
You guys
this
are
morning?
continuing your breakfast.
Lacking.
Adara, what are you doing at this moment?
Well. Oh. I guess I'm hugging my family goodbye to head over to meet them at the Hollow.
Okay.
Very tearful goodbye.
Yeah, as you do, you see your father is trying to hold back tears. Your mother has already had her conversation with you. Your mother's a little more put together than your father is, it seems. But she's also very proud of you. Big smile on her face and gives you a very loving and endearing hug. And as she pulls away and lets your father give you a hug, feel a slight tear hitting the side of your ear. And he says, I'm very proud of you, Adara. I know this is not an easy journey to take, and I know he's not your patron, not your deity, but he takes off the necklace of Palor and he puts it over you and says, I hope he watches over you and keeps you safe and brings you back home to us safe. And your brother doesn't seem to really understand that this is the moment that you're going for your journey, because his experience has been with his mother and father's tales of their journeys, and he relates more to your dad and expected it to be much more of a late in life, and he's also a bit sad and gives you a hug, and as he does, you can feel Primrose kind of forcing herself between her legs and like snuggles between the two of you guys. And as he lets go, he picks up Primrose and holds her. And he looks at you and says, "Don't worry, we'll take good care of Primrose, and we'll be here if you need us. And we're gonna miss you a lot."
I'm going to take Primrose from him and give her a big hug. And while I'm hugging her, tell him, make sure you take your training seriously, but don't let Mom keep you away from your garden. And then I'll just kind of look to my parents and tell them to take care of themselves and that I'll be home soon. And then I'll give Primrose back to Theron.
Okay, and you see Theron kind of takes Primrose, and there's the very faintest hint of a tear rolling down his eye onto his cheek, and it gets lost in some of the face hair, and he gives you another hug with Primrose still in his arms, and they all wave as you walk out the door, and they'll wish you well in your travels, and make your way into the town, and fairly easily find your way in the Wayward Hollow. And as you enter, you see the rest of your friends have just finished their first plate of food. A few of them have gotten up to go back for seconds. Kuk specifically is already on his third plate, going back for a fourth. And as you enter, you see Jared, and Jared gives you a slight smile and a wave, and just kind of motions over to the table and join your friends at the table.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Oh,
Good
she's
morning.
You're on mute. You're on mute.
Mute.
Good morning. No, I'm sorry. I said, aren't we all glad we went to Jared?
Ew!
Great. The food is great.
You unmuted for that?
Also, I wanna sit next to Ian if the spot is available.
Yeah,
I'll sit next to Siwo.
pretty easy for you guys to shift around as people get up and get food and come back down to the table. You can make your way over. As a point of clarification, it's Jarrod. So I don't want to get
Jarrod.
on YouTube.
Listen.
Just throwing it out there.
I can't buy diamond rings there.
Don't hit me with that copyright, that trademark, YouTube.
Jarrod.
Where are you, Jared from Subway?
Boo.
I'll post this one on YouTube.
All he did for a living sandwiches.
Demonetized.
Alright, so you're able to find your seat next to Ian, and you see Ian's got this odd plate of food. He's got some jam on eggs, and he's got a piece of sausage covered in honey and ketchup, and just the strangest looking plate of food. But
Pretty good. Spicy sausage.
No lie, that sounds good.
on his face, holding the knife upside down, and in one hand.
Is there a bite out of the knife?
Make a perception check.
Where's my roll button?
Don't really.
14.
14. Make a stealth check for me, Jackson.
Stealth check?
Yeah.
Oh shit. 21.
21. Yeah, you don't see anything. It just looks like he's holding the knife the wrong way on accident.
So, Ian, please let me know. I say this with no judgment. Do you find that it makes people more comfortable for you to take food when you don't know what to do with it than it would be to not take food at all?
I find that it makes me more comfortable.
You're trying to fit in.
Precisely.
I know you cannot eat.
No.
Or do not eat.
Same. Same.
If you'd like, I'm a big fan of food myself. I could give you some basic pointers on how to get a more conventional plate of food.
I would greatly appreciate that. I get a lot of weird looks.
It would be my pleasure.
Ah, thank you.
Well,
Beep boop.
Robot Captain, beep boop beep. That's from Brooklyn 9-8. Don't sue us, NBC. Staten Island 9-7. That's
There you go.
nobody wants to watch that.
Google.
Alright. So as you guys are finishing up your breakfasts, Jared comes over and he asks everyone at the table, "How was the food?
Would you like any jewelry?"
How was the meal? Was it satisfactory up to your liking?
It was great.
It was delicious. Thank you.
Absolutely divine.
Excellent. And the pastries, were they up to what you were expecting?
They were
Matilda
nil,
said
but they were high quality.
Matilda said she got the recipe from someone who knew a traveling chef.
These little
Not
things.
really sure. He was. I think they'd met them in Waterdeep, but he's not really sure the story behind it. But
Well, compliments to the pastry chef. They're delicious.
I will pass it to Matilda, and hopefully it'll make word back. Please, if you guys would like any more food, let me know. But if you guys need rooms again for the night, or if you guys are going to be traveling, Cham, again, thank you so much for the performance last night. It really was a spectacle to beheld or to behold.
Next time I'm in town, the fee might be more, but I'd be happy to play here again.
I will probably pay the fee if it is higher. That was quite the performance.
Glad I'm good. I appreciate your patronage to my services.
Yes.
But yes, I think I'll be getting on the road soon.
It's true. Where are you bound, Sir Loxodon?
I think today I will walk outside and in the direction of the sun. So whether it's afternoon, I'll go west, or in the morning, east.
Very fair. And you, Ian?
Haven't decided yet.
Well, if you are interested, I am bound north to the city of.
Belmont.
Wait for it.
Someone.
Big titty?
Belmont. Because apparently, according to friend Champ, they have an extremely advanced science-based culture, which is my bread and butter, and that is the origin of many Warforged. I also understand, so you might find others like yourself.
Adara, do you plan to go back home with your family?
I think I'm gonna come. I think I'm trying to find some adventure today.
Do you have any ideas of where you might head then?
I was hoping to hear where you all were headed and follow where might sound most interesting.
Kuk, what are you thinking?
I'm still looking for my dragon, so whoever's gonna help me find that. Maybe them science nerds might know something about a dragon.
Beezer, have I come across any dragons in my travels?
You've heard tales and rumors.
What about any wings? Tails, rumors, and wings?
Yeah, you heard that. From just your age, your understanding of the empires as they sit, there is a rumor. Make a history check for me, actually, before I say
Your thing. History. Yeah. Oh, that is a 1.
As a 1, natural 1.
Oh, damn, brother. You read?
So you've heard history and you've heard tales and stories.
Dragons are the flying ones, right?
Yeah, I like that.
So are you all heading north?
Well, I guess so.
We'll have fun.
Yes.
Oh.
We'll have fun. Fucking got him.
Sham, do you want to come with us? I feel like we make quite the group.
I mean, since I have nowhere else to go, maybe I can play some shows along the way. I'm generally good at securing a place to sleep for at least myself, so maybe it could benefit you all.
Well,
How nice it would be to to share.
Well, it sounds like we're what's a bad word?
A gaggle.
We're a gaggle.
Ew.
Oh God,
I will now be heading south.
a fellowship,
No, Solomon. Bad words only.
a fellowship of the science thing.
However, you all will be addressed as my minstrels.
We are the sphincters.
Cham Pa and the sphincter. Oh God.
I can play any instrument.
No, we gotta be Cham Pa and the misfits because we're all so different.
Can any of you play any instruments? I seem to have lost my backup crew anyway during that scuffle at the fair.
I sure can try. What do you want me to play?
Can you make drum go boom?
All right, can I make drum go boom?
Yeah, make a performance check.
All right, we got a nice hot -1 coming in.
Mama.
We got 11.
11. Yeah, I mean, you
and-
hit the drum and it goes boom.
Wonderful. That's all I need.
Chomp, if you give me any ridged instruments like a weiro or a washboard, the claws do a mean job on those. And also, I can provide bass vocals with the growl,
I volunteer for security detail.
or the purr, depending on the song. You know.
Knock, you seem more like a roadie, but you're welcome to tag along.
Yeah, that's fair.
What Knox? What did you say?
I volunteer a security detail.
Oh my God!
I like it. I feel better. I feel safer.
We're heading north to Belmont. Is that what it is? Belmont?
Yes.
All right.
It's been quite a while since I've been there.
Yeah, it really has. And as you guys finish up your meals for the day, and finish up your breakfast, hand your keys over to Jared and Matilda at the bar, make your way out of the Weirwood Hollow. Find yourselves in Ilvergorn heading north.
Bro.
Cham, as you guys are traveling north, you hear a few people calling behind you, asking, Cham, where are you going next? Where do your travels take you? We want to... And you recognize them. They've been following you for a few weeks now. Your roadies.
You again.
Roadies.
This man's got groupies.
And
We're traveling to Belmont if you really want to follow us. But I don't need you anymore. I've got a new group.
And you see the two girls and the one gentleman that are standing in front of you. One of the girls immediately looks heartbroken. And you can see her like holding back tears very unsuccessfully. The gentleman just looks at you like, and you see him like reach into his pouch and starting to count some coin and do some math in his head. And the other girl is comforting the one that's currently now sobbing uncontrollably about the fact that she just was insulted by you.
Okay, well, what I'm going to do, I see her start tearing up, and I say, don't take it too hard, and then I'm going to I'm going to put my hands together, I'm going to make a little brass figurine of myself.
Okay. And,
I'm gonna
and as you
hand it.
do,
I say, moments like that we shared are fleeting. And then
you see her like wipe the tears away and like pull her hair back out of her face as it started to like stick with the tears. And she takes it and she just looks at it and then looks up to you and like holds it to her heart and runs off with the other girl. And the gentleman's like still counting his coin and doing some math in his head. And you get the sense that he's trying to figure out if he can afford safe travel to Belmont. And you see him walk off away as you guys continue your journey northward.
Amazing.
And that is going to be the end of session 2.
they were annoying anyway.
Pick up from there next time we meet.
I want it to be known that Michelle legit cried.
I did.
Michelle